What is up and welcome back, Average Guy DIY fam. Today we are doing a drywall repair, quite an intimidating one I might add. As you can see, the hole is extremely large, but stay tuned and I'll show you how I did it. All right, so let's jump right in. As you can see, the only two things behind this hole are two pieces of steel. Normally you have some type of wood to work with or to drill into, so I'll show you which route we took. I also want to mention that this is lower income housing, so they're not super picky, and I'm far from a professional when it comes to drywall. They just saw my ad and gave me a call, and I was willing to do it in the budget that they were looking for. So the first thing I did was cut that massacre of a circle into the shape of a square. This way it would be easier to work with. To do this, I ended up using a grinder and a handsaw. Also, while I was cutting, I noticed some older drywall behind the cut as well. I kept that there for a little bit of backing for the new drywall piece that I'm going to put in. I try to keep things as square and even as I could. Don't mind the camera with the wide angle lens there. It just makes things look like they're curved when they're not. Also, if you're undertaking a job such as this one, be careful of any pipes or tubes that are behind the drywall where you're cutting so that you don't break or burst anything there. So what I decided to do to get some structure and backing for the drywall is to install a wooden piece of plywood right behind it, and the drywall is going to tack onto this. Make sure you are pre-drilling your holes and make sure you are also using drywall screws, and just bury the screws a little bit when you're screwing them in into the drywall so that when you're putting the filler, applying the filler over top of the screw, it will be a nice smooth finish. After you fit the new piece of drywall, just slide it into place. Make sure it's nice and snug, and make sure that the gaps that it leaves are even. So when you're putting the filler in between the gaps, you get a nice even finish. So just taking a closer look here, you would definitely want these gaps to be as tight as possible. There's one gap on the corner here that looks bigger, but it's just the wide angle camera. But like I said, as tight as possible and as flush as possible so that when we put the drywall filler in place, it will look something like this. So at this point now we've done the drywall filler, and we have to let that drywall filler dry so that it's nice and tough when we come back to sand everything down. So I would say one of the most important takeaways from this video is when you're putting your new drywall in place, make sure it is level with the existing drywall so that when you do your mudding or your filler, that it's as flush as possible. Like I said, I'm not a professional. We're not going for super perfection here, but we did want to make sure that that hole was enclosed properly. So that's pretty much it. Like I said before, I'm not a professional. This is just to give you guys an idea of how to fill a large hole in the drywall. This was lower income housing, so this is all the work they needed done. They basically just wanted a patch in there, and that's what I did for it. So I hope this video was helpful, and if it was, like always, just hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you can stay tuned when my next video is posted. All right, as always, I appreciate all your support. Thanks so much for watching, and enjoy your day.